What's up, people? Got another video for you guys. This time, it's about a topic I was thinking about in the shower the other day. Who would Batman's arch nemesis be if the Joker never existed? Like, he was just never created as a villain in DC. I made a community post about it, and I put 4 options because you can only put 4 image options in a poll, and Ghul was voted to be the most likely candidate. But I feel there's other villains in Batman's universe as well that have the potential to take the spot. So this video is pretty much going to break down the potential villains that I think have a good chance of being Batman's arch nemesis. We're just going to go through each villain and why I think they have a chance, with my personal opinion on it, and who I think Batman's arch nemesis would be at the end of the video. So without further ado, let's just get started. Now, to be a potential of being an arch nemesis for a superhero, there's always some prerequisites you must meet, right? Some of it can be if you have a personal history with the hero, if you have a matching rivalry with him, or just have some type of strong relationship with the character, whether it be from them having a past connection or the character giving them the most trouble, etc. So I have a list here, and there's no particular order, so let's just start from the top, starting with Two-Face. Now, I put Two-Face here because Harvey Dent has a lot of history with Batman. Before he became evil, Batman, Gordon, and Harvey teamed up to help try and make Gotham a safer place. It gave Harvey a sense of purpose and made him the shining light of Gotham, but then Maroni threw acid onto Harvey's face when they were in a courtroom together, scarring Harvey and making him turn into Two-Face. That's generally like the origin for Harvey, right? Harvey in a way felt betrayed by Batman and Gordon because of what happened and felt that he lost the most out of anyone. Batman definitely feels bad and apologized to Harvey due to what happened, but Harvey has let his dual personality take him over and he's the gangster he is now. The deep history between the two is what makes Two-Face a potential candidate. They have interesting correlations as well because they both try to stop crime together, but Batman did it as a vigilante while Harvey tried to do it legally. They had similar parallels, and Two-Face also being a really well-known Batman villain as well just kind of helps to add to the fact that he is a really good candidate to be Batman's arch nemesis. Let me know if this is your pick. The next potential candidate I chose is Penguin. I picked Penguin because the Cobblepot family line has a deep history with the Waynes. Penguin blames Bruce Wayne's family for destroying and tainting the Cobblepot family name, and that alone gives him that established history. This gives him that connection with Bruce Wayne rather than Batman, if that makes a difference to anyone, but regardless, it's still Bruce Wayne / Batman. Because of this fact though, this essentially makes their history one of the longest, if not the longest running timeline-wise, in Batman's universe, right? Although it never really affected Batman much, it's still there. Penguin is always there as well, being a thorn in Batman's side. But, although, he's never really a huge villain that really gives Batman the most trouble, I'd say. He's usually someone that Batman actually kind of goes to for information, or it's usually just included in a story for Batman just to kind of take out, So, let me know what you think with this one. They really have that strong history, but, yeah, just definitely a potential candidate, I'd say. Now, the next villain is Scarecrow. Now, Scarecrow is very interesting because he utilizes essentially everything that Batman does just for evil. He's really interesting because the concept of fear is used in 2 different ways among them. Batman uses it to terrorize criminals, while Scarecrow uses it to terrorize the innocent. Or, I guess everyone, good or bad, but he mainly uses it for evil, right? This concept alone really gives them an extremely strong relation, and the fact that Scarecrow has been seen as a really big rival already in games like Batman Arkham Knight shows that he can give Batman a challenge that not much of his other villains can. Let me know what you think of Scarecrow, because I think the concept of what Batman uses but someone else uses it for evil and it's part of his rogues gallery alone gives that really strong connection to be a potential arch nemesis for Batman. Now, another candidate I believe has a strong chance is Bane. Bane is the only one so far that gives Batman a huge challenge physically but also mentally. Bane's extremely intelligent. I feel like some people sometimes forget about that. He isn't some bumbling idiot that the Arkham games made him out to be. The thing with most Batman villains is that they either challenge Batman physically or mentally. Bane does both, and to a very high degree. A lot of stories where Bane's in, he gives Batman an extremely tough challenge and always steals the show. He holds one of the most popular comics too in which he breaks the bat, so he already has that long-running history comic-wise. Bane also has a fear of bats as well in his backstory, so that makes their connection that much stronger. Bane is a really good candidate for being Batman's arch nemesis too, so let me know what you think of this one. Now, I also have Riddler here. Riddler challenges Batman the most mentally. He's definitely the smartest of Batman's rogues gallery, I'd say. Out of all the ones I listed so far anyway. He always gives Batman a huge challenge mentally, whether it would be through a tough riddle or whatever. He has that long-running history with Batman as well. And while Riddler doesn't have a huge presence relationship-wise with Batman in terms of not having a kind of origin or some sort of history with him, He's the best character at showcasing Batman's detective skills, and in a way brings that part out the best compared to other villains. I mean, if you want to see Batman be a great detective, Riddler is definitely a good option to showcase that. I think his command presence is really well done as well, and it stands out with the popping colors of green and the way he just talks. Let me know what you think of Riddler, because I think he's also a really strong potential candidate. And finally, there's Ra's al Ghul. Ra's has a really interesting connection with Batman, right? He wants Batman to run his operation, but at the same time despises what Batman stands for. He thinks Batman's way of fighting crime is wrong, with Batman not killing people, and that alone, is one of the reasons anyway, that puts him at odds. Also, the fact that Batman had a former relationship with his daughter helps to put that tension and connection between the two characters. And he's one of the few characters that gives Batman a really tough time combat-wise. He adds a lot to Batman's universe with things like the Lazarus Pit and the League, just for examples, and he's definitely a solid pick too. So let me know what you think of Ra's al Ghul. These are the villains that I think have the best chance of being Batman's biggest villains. I'm sure there's honorable mentions too that I haven't listed, like Deathstroke, for example. I saw some people say that Deathstroke would be a great candidate, but to me, Deathstroke is a Teen Titans villain at his core, and is also a DC Universe villain as well, in my opinion. He kind of comes and goes in a lot of different stories other than Batman's, which is why I didn't include him. I really just think he's a Teen Titan villain at heart, so I didn't include him in this list. So, my personal opinion on who Batman's #1 villain would be, after a lot of thought, and I'm sure this will probably change, after I make this video. It was so hard to think and who I think would be the arch nemesis. I think it would be Scarecrow. My reasoning for this is that you see a lot of other villains with their heroes like Flash and Reverse Flasher, Green Lantern and Sinestro. Those villains match the hero's powers, but they use it in a sinister way. Scarecrow fits that bill since he uses fear to create chaos, while Batman uses fear to fight crime. That dynamic alone gives him a really strong connection, and we've seen Scarecrow also be the big bad in Batman stories as well. Crane doesn't really have a strong connection to Batman outside of that, really, and Batman's other villains do, so those choices are also solid picks as well. But I do think that Scarecrow's concept of fear really adds a strong layer that I feel like other villains don't, that gives him a really good chance of being Batman's arch nemesis, and that's why I chose Scarecrow. But let me know what you guys think. This is definitely a discussion related video, so I want to know what other people thought as well. I feel like there's maybe other villains that could fit the bill, like Prometheus, for example. Other villains I didn't mention, but like I said, this video would go on forever, and I think these villains that I mentioned already are the best candidates, so please let me know what you guys think in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, share it, subscribe, all that stuff, alright? I would really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye, people.